If you want to hear from the leading experts in the FM industry, you are in the right place. Hi, I'm Kirsty Cogan, the Managing Director of SFG20, and I'm proud to welcome you to the very first SFG20 Summit. As the industry standard, we wanted to put on an event for the industry, discussing the topics that FMs, building owners, engineers, contractors, and service providers are focusing on. We have spoken to our customers and attendees at our monthly webinars to identify the themes that would provide the greatest support to you as attendees. The 4 topics that came up most frequently as things people are interested in or concerned about are AI, digital-led maintenance, carbon net zero, and the Building Safety Act. Each of these topics are about future-proofing your buildings to create a culture of compliance, where buildings are safe for all occupants. For some time, AI, digital, and carbon net zero may have felt like they are some way off, but they aren't the future, they are very much in the present, which means most organizations have some catching up to do. On top of that, we have a new legislative landscape with the Building Safety Act. And although we are 2 years on from the enactment of that legislation, the recent Grenfell Inquiry report has laid out a series of recommendations that will help to ensure that all buildings are managed to the highest industry standards. This is why today's discussions are so critical for both the present and the future of your buildings. Whether you are the engineer standing in front of the asset or the building owner accountable for the risk of the building, our discussion areas today will help you on your journey to building maintenance compliance. Across the live schedule today, we have 4 panels and several presentations, including a keynote address from the former head of the British Army Estate and former Chief Executive of the Government Property Agency, Stephen Boyd, MBE. His presentation will touch on his experiences as an engineer, running such important estates and bringing the main themes of today's summit to life. In addition to the live agenda, you will have noticed the virtual platform when you logged in to join us today. We have video presentations from esteemed speakers across the industry that you can watch in your own time, and the official event thought leadership guide that you can download. Altogether, we have over 50 contributors from across the industry, either speaking on a panel, delivering a presentation, or having authored a thought leadership article for the official SFG20 Summit guide. The SFG20 Summit is more than just a live stream. We wanted to create an experience for you. You have access to this platform for the next year so that you can interact with the content, watch the videos from speakers across the world, and also re-watch the live agenda. That means that if you have to pop out for a meeting or even just to put the kettle on, you don't have to miss out. The interactive environment gives you access to content from speakers, sponsors, and contributors to the SFG20 Summit. Please make sure you check out everything that the virtual platform has for you. One of the best things about attending industry events is meeting other people, and we wanted to provide that opportunity for you too. Be sure to check out the networking rooms where you can speak to other attendees and some of our sponsors, gaining value from meeting other people across the industry. Our speakers have a combined 670 years of experience in the industry, and you have access to all of that expertise today. This event is something we at SFG20 have been looking forward to for some time, and we are now excited for it to be here, sharing it with the hundreds of people who have already joined us. So on to our themes and what you can expect. We are witnessing an era where developments in AI create the opportunity to revolutionize how the industry approaches the process of building maintenance. At SFG20, we recognize that one of the biggest challenges for facilities managers is identifying what tasks must be performed on each asset in a building to preserve life, reduce cost, and stay compliant with the law. So we're embracing AI and harnessing its power to streamline and automate the process of mapping assets to the relevant SFG20 schedules. This is an exciting breakthrough for industry. It will not only significantly reduce the time taken to manually map assets, but also ensures that the right tasks are performed on assets to keep building owners compliant. You may be thinking that your organization isn't ready to adopt AI yet, but today's discussions will give an exciting look at the art of the possible. With AI, the opportunity to transform facilities management is incredibly exciting, But let's not forget that AI cannot exist without human input. It can assist rather than replace. In addition to AI, digital-led maintenance is a key talking point throughout the industry. We're in an age where digital solutions allow for real-time data monitoring and automation. Through digital maintenance platforms, facilities teams can remotely monitor the health of equipment, track performance trends, and even execute certain maintenance tasks automatically. These systems can also consolidate all maintenance data in one place, making it accessible to every relevant stakeholder. This connectivity means we can eliminate many of the silos traditionally seen in maintenance processes. In addition to AI, digital-led maintenance is a key talking point throughout the industry. But how can digital-led maintenance contribute towards future-proofing your buildings? A common misconception is that digital-led maintenance is just about sensors and monitors, but actually it spans far wider than that and has the potential to allow us to transition data from design and build stage through to a building's operational phase. This is an issue that industry has been grappling with for some time, but by utilising technology, we can create smoother building handovers and maintain the golden thread of information about a building. You may be wondering how to get started with digital-led maintenance within your organisation, or perhaps think that you can't if you're managing a legacy estate. The reality is that you're not alone. Very few facilities managers are working from BIM models, so where do you start if you haven't got one? These are all questions that our panel will address today. Moving forward, achieving carbon net zero in buildings is a priority that we can't afford to overlook. The operation of buildings, according to the International Energy Agency, accounts for 30% of global energy consumption and CO2 emissions. A critical step towards future-proofing is aligning with global sustainability targets to reduce this impact. While it may seem daunting, we can work towards carbon net zero through a combination of energy-efficient design, renewable energy integration, and innovative maintenance strategies. So where does maintenance come into this picture? Maintenance practices directly impact energy efficiency. By ensuring HVAC systems are running optimally, maintaining well-insulated infrastructures, and regularly assessing energy consumption patterns, we can prevent unnecessary waste. This is where digital solutions and AI intersect with our net zero goals. Predictive maintenance helps avoid energy losses due to inefficient systems, while real-time data enables ongoing adjustments that can reduce consumption. Achieving carbon neutrality not only supports environmental goals, but also future-proofs buildings against stringent carbon-related legislation. More and more governments are enforcing carbon caps and imposing penalties for exceeding them. Facilities managers and building owners who take the lead in implementing net zero practices will find themselves prepared and compliant and positioned as leaders in an increasingly environmentally conscious market. We are lucky to have experts on our carbon net zero panel today who can provide practical insights into carbon reduction within a building and how this has impacted on how maintenance is managed. Finally, let's touch on compliance, particularly in light of the Building Safety Act. The Act has been introduced in response to high-profile building failures and the tragic events that took place at Grenfell Tower, placing renewed emphasis on accountability and safety. This legislation affects every stage of a building's life cycle, from design and construction to ongoing maintenance. When the Act was first published, it had an initial focus on high-rise residential buildings, and a lot of people still believe that that is the case. But the Building Safety Act now applies to every building. The standards are now higher than ever, and the sanctions match those standards. Today's expert panel on the Building Safety Act will help you push forward in this ever-changing legislative landscape to help you achieve compliance and make your building safe for everyone. As we look to future-proof our buildings, the themes of today's SFG20 Summit, AI, digital maintenance, carbon net zero initiatives, and compliance are not isolated elements. They are interconnected and will need to work together to future-proof your buildings. The start of that journey begins now with the expertise of 30 speakers from across today's panels and presentations. Welcome to the SFG20 Summit, the industry standard event for all building maintenance professionals.